We are in Shar Yicha Ma'aseh Perek Hey, moving towards the end of a very long Perek, and it's a fascinating Perek because it goes through the various types of arguments that the Yetzer will use to try to pull us into his web, on many different levels, many different arguments. It's almost like there's almost no end to the avenues of strategy that he will use, and the Chos gives us the tools and the arguments back to be able to be successful in this endeavor. So we're up to Dugma Ches. We're in the middle of Dugma Ches, the 8th type of example of what the Yetzer will do if all else fails, and he'll come up with another one. And now we're in the middle of this concept of being haughty over others. That basically, even though, yes, you have to do the Ratzon Hashem, but you are so superior to everybody else, and how could you not feel and recognize that superiority, because after all you are God's gift to the world. And number 2, you should be letting everyone know how inferior they are to you. Give them the tochach like the Nevi'im gave the world. And that's what the Yetzer tells you, that if he can't get you to give up, at least he will get you to sort of elevate yourself in a haughty way. So basically the argument back, and that's where we left off, that bottom line is, you got to tell back the Yetzer, how in the world do I know who I'm better than? How do I know what this person's challenges are? And even though on the outside he seems like he's not like me, and that he's not as good as me based on his, what appears on the surface, I don't know what his background, I don't know what challenges this person had, and therefore I can't possibly judge. So now we're ready to continue that reasoning and that concept. V'yochel gam lios, and it also could be that granted the negative influence that the outside appearance of this person does, regardless, despite of that, I have no way of knowing that his negative actions that seem to be evident is really not any worse than my actions and my overall totality of who I am as a person. Roshim zed notzar de shorak hatzad Hara shematzpuno who nira v'goli, and it's this view is based on the understanding and the recognition that what I see from this fellow is only negative. It doesn't seem like he's a very good guy. He's got a lot of weaknesses. He's doing a lot of things wrong, but those things, despite the negative, the one thing that he has in a way going for him is that those negative things are out in the open. His good deeds are, yes, have some good deeds. Nobody doesn't do any good deeds, and I don't see them. They're very secret. They're very private. View at sleep, but when it comes to me, the person talking to himself and talking to his Yetzer, when it comes to me, the concept is just the opposite. If that's the case, this person in a way is in a better position, despite the fact that I do a lot of outwardly good things and he does outwardly negative things, but it's very possible that he is more fitting for HaKadosh Baruch Hu's compassion and for HaKadosh Baruch Hu's forgiveness. Because one merit from this guy could outweigh many merits that I can bring to the table. And the Rambam says this, just in general terms, when it comes to mitzvos and averos, we can't judge the quality of a mitzvah versus the quality of an avera, because it's all based on so many other factors. So even though, we can do one mitzvah, that one mitzvah can seem like 1,000 mitzvahs. You can have one avera, and that avera can seem, like 1,000 averos, depending on where it's coming from and how much damage or how great it is, the act that I'm doing in the overall scheme of things. And same thing with this fellow. Since he's doing good things privately and negative things openly, he's got a big advantage over me. The only one who sees this person's positive attributes is Hashem. God is the only one who sees it. No one's giving him praise for it. He's not getting any kavod. But when it comes to me, the person now talking to himself still, the thing is just the opposite. Everyone sees my good traits. Everyone sees all the mitzvahs that I do because I'm out there in the open doing them probably with a goal of getting recognition. Since I'm getting a lot of praise for what I'm doing, inaku li mischaran. It subtracts from the schar. Okay, right? We know that basically, when you get certain benefits, and that's why one of the reasons the Chavetz Chaim is a famous story that the Chavetz Chaim did not want to go out on the train platform to be seen by the whole throng of people waiting to look at him and just sort of get a glimpse and get a quick bracha, because he says, all this kavod, I can't, it's not right. It's not right for me to get all of this honor in this world. And whether it was the Belzer Rebbe or somebody else, basically was with him, he says, sometimes you got to give up for Klal Yisrael. And if you have to give up a little bit of Olam Haba for the Jews to get, inspiration, then that's what you got to do. And the Chavetz Chaim said right away, you're right, and he went out. So, but the point is that special people and holy people come at life from the point of view that they want zero recognition. They don't want anything of their actions to be known, because whatever is known to some degree detracts from the purity of the action. A guy like this who's being duped by the Yetzer needs to be able to answer back that it doesn't make any sense what you're telling me. You're telling me that I should feel superior to everybody. How do I know? And if I'm going to start really comparing, I who do things in the openly that are positive and get a lot of recognition for it, and have my name up in bright lights, and they put me in the Mizrach Vant, and they make a banquet in my honor, all these things ultimately subtract from my reward. This guy, nobody knows him from a hole in the wall. No one gives him the time of day. This guy, whatever he does is pure in terms of nobody, recognizing it. And the same result will come out when you start comparing the averos that we've done. It'll come out that my averos are much worse than his averos. Why? One aver of mine will be equal to many of his. When I do averos, no one knows. I do it privately, I do it secretly, no one's aware. Okay, so I do them, but there is nothing there's no punishment that I'm getting in the process of doing the aver, because it's completely, secret and unaware. The world is unaware of them. But this fellow who does his averos openly, they're very evident and they're very well known. Since this fellow is sort of already known as being a negative guy, and he's already getting negative feedback from people around him. What are you doing? This, that. He's this. He's not from. Stay away from him. You can't eat in his house. Who knows? All the stuff going on. He's getting constant derision. That derision, ironically, takes away from his punishment, because he's getting a lot of the punishment right now in the way people treat him. The Yetzer, when it therefore comes out, my reward for my good deeds in the next world will be less than this guy's good deeds, because of the well-known nature of everyone being aware in this world, and that the punishment for the averos that I have done will stay almost in its pure form, which is not good. In other words, you don't want the full brunt of the punishment of the aver. You'd love for some things to come in. The Gemara says, if we would know how much punishment and embarrassment and all different types of challenges take away from our punishment in the next world, we pray for it all day. All we'd be doing all day would be praying for difficulties, but we can't handle it, so we don't pray for it, and we hope that it doesn't happen to us, because we don't want to sort of, tempt fate in that regard, and then sort of push the envelope. But from an objective point of view, that's really what would be in our best interest. Vilu et slow. So my punishment, he says, is going to be in its full form. Vilu et slow. But this guy, it'll be just the opposite. Since he's got no recognition in the next world, in this world, he's going to have full compensation in the next world. And the Averis that the punishment for the Averis would be less in the next world because of the embarrassment and shame that he had to endure in this world. So in the long run, it's all going to really work out in this person's best interest. So in the overall scale, how do I know that I'm better off than this guy? This guy might be way better off than me. And for another reason, Mr. Yetzer, I can't accept your words that you're trying to tell me that I should feel superior to all those around me. When I go out of my way, or I exert myself, my thoughts, to look at the negative deficiencies and defects of other people, and to focus on the negativity of and the negative character traits, which is really, that was his whole argument. And it was, even though you'll do the mitzvos, but you'll have this feeling of haughtiness that should permeate your being because of look at all the wonderful things that you do. So when you focus in on these negativity and the negative traits of other people, so this is what you should be saying to Yetzer. I hear your argument. I hear your point that I should recognize how good I am, see all the faults in everybody else, but what's that going to do for me? Can you please tell me how is that going to benefit me? He says, that's only going to prevent me from focusing on my faults and my weaknesses. And to focus in on my faults and my defects, the mumim, the blemishes that I have in my personality and my character. Okay, something which is way more important for me to do. What am I going to gain more from? Focusing on everybody else's faults or focusing on my faults? I'm certainly more obligated to focus in on my shortcomings. And just like the worries of a sick person in his sickness, masikos es machshavosov, masikos es daita milachshavos al machosem shuli adam achem. When a person's sick, Rachman al-Atzlan, are they worried about other people's sicknesses, or are they worried about their own? Right? They don't have time to worry about who's there, what's going on with everybody else, because I got to take care of myself. I got to make sure that my treatments go well. I got to make sure that I'm with the right doctor in the right place. I got no time. So when a person is sick, their natural focus, rightfully so, is on themselves. They got to get better. Just like the focus and the worries of a person in his sickness, prevents a person from turning and focusing on the healing of others. I'm also sick. I've also got my spiritual ailments. So what am I going to do? Focus on somebody else and totally miss the boat and miss the direction of what I should be thinking about? And all my worries should be in fixing up my problems. Which and all this prevents me from turning to the weaknesses of others. So you're just trying to deflect me, okay, and to misdirect me into a bad area. So once again, Yetzer, and this is basically the theme of this entire chapter, is that basically, the Yetzer makes all these compelling arguments, but then when you look at it objectively, you see how ridiculous it is. You see how it has no basis and has no logic to it. And this is where, again, the notion that you should be looking at other people and putting them down and focusing on your own, positive elements is ridiculous. If you refute the Yetzer with this type of response, you will break the Yetzer, and he will be basically wiped out, and he will sort of fall and succumb to you. So this has been his theme, that every one of these arguments are powerful and can break the seemingly compelling arguments of the Yetzer. Okay, we're now ready for Dugma Tes, the ninth example of the argument that the Yetzer is going to use. Pita Yetzer lachto me'avodas Hashem ne'shila ma'ila miyacholto. So the next argument is the Pitu, again, it's a type of a seduction of the Yetzer to prevent the person from serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because it's above your level of ability. What does that mean? So let's get into this. If the arrows of the Yetzer Hara cannot get you, based on the arguments that we just articulated over the last chapter, he still will continue to entrap you. Whether it's at a time that you are rolling, doing well, when things are going well for you, or whether things are rough and you're in tough times. He will get you coming and going through the following argument. When things are going well and you're riding the wave, and it's a 4.1, GDP and everything is beautiful. He's going to tell you, and you're making more money. He's going to say to you like this: Your hatzlacha is a direct result, the Yetzer will tell us, from your effort, from your ingenuity, and from your brilliance. You're a very wise person. Therefore, keep at it. Don't you let up. Put in every ounce of energy. Put in those extra hours. Work super hard. Don't you dare let up in the incredible energy you are expending in the success of your financial empire. And keep working hard. Because as a result, that's how your hatzlacha is going to continue. You'll be even more successful. Smach be happy and rejoice in these good times. And just sort of swallow them up with all types of positive flow and positive things. Because death is right around the corner. So grab all the gusto and enjoy the ride. Get that Lamborghini. Just enjoy life and focus on the good things. Okay, because it'll be in relatively short time. Okay, you'll be forced to answer the call to go to the grave. The Malach Mavis is going to come by one day, and life is short, so you want to grab what you can. And will take you to a place where there is no wisdom, there is no movement, there is no pleasure, there's no pain. Okay, and the Yetzer not only will start talking to you this way, but he'll actually even bring you a proof that that's the way it is. From the distorted understanding of what Shalom Melech said, whatever you're able to do right now in your strength, when you have the power to do. Because there are no actions, there are no deeds, there are no calculations, there's no thought process and wisdom in the depths that you're going to go to. Meaning when you're 6 feet under. When you're 6 feet under, there is no chachmas, there's no nothing, okay? And now, this pasuk of Shlomo was written obviously for somebody to be reminded of the fact that you can't take your wealth with you, so let's focus on your spirituality. And therefore make sure that what you are able to do in this world in terms of mitzvos, grab all that. But you can also read it the other way. The Yetzer can distort the pasuk and say, no, the Yetzer is saying that Shalom Melech is telling us, listen, we're all going to go anyway, so let's enjoy, do what you can to make as much money as you can, to be as successful as you can. Because you're not going to be able to enjoy it later, you might as well enjoy it now. Right? Eat, drink, and be merry, but tomorrow we all go. So, the kasha timsa b'matzav kosher. Okay, so that's the argument that's going to be used when things are going good. How about when things are going bad? The kasha timotzi b'matzav kosher, when you find yourself in a tough spot, hu yavir b'machshavtecha satoiv sheish rishoyim v'satzchoch sheish hofim. It's in those times that we are very susceptible to look around and say, look at all these rotten sleazeballs, how good they have it. Look at me, I'm struggling away, and it's so hard for me, and I'm not really making it. And all these guys don't keep anything, they don't keep Shabbos, they don't keep kosher, and they're rolling in the dough, and they're having a great time. Look at them, they're just big party animals. So what am I gaining from all my efforts? So this is where the Yetzer gets us to start looking at who's enjoying life, at least apparently, seemingly better than me. Kamoi shekasav yishlayu oyalim l'sheididim. Okay, to those people, as Eov was observing the world, he says it seems like there's peace and tranquility to those who sit in their tents and revel and have a lot of joy in parties. And those who are making HaKadosh Baruch Hu angry, they have it easy. So you look around; these are the questions that Eov was asking, like what's going on? Why are good things happening to bad people? And he will tell you as follows: you want to know why you're having this rough time? You want to know why you're really down in the dumps and you can't make ends meet, you can't meet your mortgage payments? It's because you're stuck to this whole frumkeit thing. You're into being a Jew. You're paying the high tuition, okay? And, you're paying all this money for all these mitzvos. Of course you're not going to make it, okay? So look at this is pulling you down. These mitzvahs are pulling you down, and the truth of the matter is, I got quite a nasty email from an individual. It's very sad, and a lot of issues that are going on in his life. But at the end of the day, he basically used the cost of being a frum Jew as a reason why he's taking a vacation from religious life, and he's leaving it. And it's mamash. This was the argument that he looks around, he sees how much money you need, and that it's money, and very sad, very very sad.
Yetzer got him.
No. This is an argument that people fall into, no question. He says, you can't continue this. You can't go on. How you just can't. You can't be from. You can't afford to be religious. It's just going to put a burden on you that's simply too heavy. Besides that, all of what you're bearing is not going to reap you anything good in the end anyway. Are you ever going to do anything really holy? Are you ever going to be a holy Jew? So what are you draining up? What are you even trying? You're not going to make it to the big time. You'll never be a Chavetz Chaim. You're not going to be Rabbi Yosef. So what exactly are you putting in all this effort? What, for mediocrity? So what just give it up. So you'll never be somebody complete in the observance of mitzvos. If you would remove your desire to move in God's direction, and you take some a respite from it and just start moving back into the very secular mode, then you'll be rolling in the dough. You'll be in a great place. Exactly where the Rishayim are. Look at all these people who are not religious. They have all this money. They have all this power. They're happy. So here I am, being this religious Jew, and I'm struggling. Kefishin charoa, based on what you see, and even look what it says in the pasuk. Right, the pasuk even indicates that. Right, these Yetzers are very good. They're very well versed. The Talmidei Chachamim, except they just distort things. The Kravaya Kadesh, right? What does HaKadosh Baruch Hu say? With my holiest ones, I'll be sanctified. So who did he take? And who did he, the first day of the Chanukah Sabayis by the Mishkan? He took Nadav Avihu. 2 holy people were taken because Hashem says, with my holiest people, I will become sanctified. So they died. Pasuk Rak Eschem Yidati, and a pasuk in Amos that says, I only know you, Mikol Mishpachos Adam, of all of the nations and all the families of the world. Al Kain, therefore, because you're my focus, Al Kain Efkod Aleichem Es Kol V'Nesechem, I will visit upon you punishment for all of your Averis. Psukim Daimim, there are other similar psukim. Shetuch Halom Mehen, that you can learn from them. Shekolo Adam Meisav Lidavig Oras Hashem, that the more you cling to HaKadosh Baruch Hu Sovel V'Nenashoseh, the more you cling, the more punishment you get. I mean, I've heard many, many times people have told me, Balei Tshuva, that they said they cannot understand. Right after they became frum, they went financially, they lost incredible amounts of money. And I've heard it many, many times from people like that. And they, Baruch Hashem, I think most of them, stayed true in their tshuva, but you sort of, you look around, you sometimes wonder, you scratch your head. Here I'm trying to, get closer to Kadosh Baruch Hu, and he's putting stumbling blocks in front of me by making it tougher for me. So this is the argument the Yetzer uses. And then if he sees you're still resolved, you're still resolute in doing actions of service to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then he starts convincing you that it's way out of your league. You can't do this. And he will try to weaken you from it. For example, if you want to fast, let me take a fast. So I've done some bad things. I want to fast a certain day. What's the Yetzer going to tell you? What are you doing? Don't fast. You can't fast. The tzom is going to weaken you out. Nowadays, the truth of the matter is, many poskim say it does weaken us out, but this was written 800 years ago. So, so the Yetzer, for a person to listen to the Yetzer, in this case, he felt was wrong. What do you mean that it's going to weaken you? It's going to make you sick, so you can't fast. It's going to prevent you from doing the physical things and the spiritual things that are upon you to do. So you can't fast. You want to do something noble and lofty by fasting for a day? No way. It's going to just bring you down. Okay, this is what the Yetzer tells us.
He's got people that listen to him.
That's for sure. Well, listen, I can't get up for minyan. I need my sleep. I can't. How could I get up for davening? I need that extra hour. Is very important for me. So the rationalizations come fast and furious. If you want to get up earlier at middle of the night in order to pray from a real position of giving to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and true supplication, right? He's going to put into your thought process the notion that sleep is more important than food. And it protects your body and gives you strength more than eating and drinking. I mean, again, not to say sleep is unimportant. It is important, but it's a question of how important. What?
Depends on the person. Look at these elder rebbeim.
Incredible.
The routines that they keep.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
If the well-being, if your condition in terms of your health does not allow you to overlook eating and drinking, right? You can't just not eat and drink because, as we just said, it's going to make you weak. For sure, you can't overlook and just neglect sleep. You got to get your sleep. So don't forget that idea of getting up in the middle of the night. That's not a good idea. You want to pray, honestly and pour your heart out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? No, not a good idea. If you want to give tzedakah, what's the Yetzer going to say? He's going to put some kind of illusion in front of you. You're going to lose all of your wealth if you start giving tzedakah. You're going to have a vision of poverty coming up against you. And he will mention to you how horrible it is, how poverty and lack of materialistic wealth, if you're mamish lacking, how horrible and how difficult it's going to be for you. But you can't give tzedakah, you need every penny. You can't give anything away. And every single thing that you're trying to do, there'll be a Yetzer argument not to do it. That's how good the Yetzer is. He will find a good argument to tell you not this. And to give it to you, this thing is beyond you. You're not being practical with who you are and what your physical needs are in this world. So just give up all this high fruit and stuff. So that you should remove yourself from it. Okay, fine, you're right. I'm not going there. I'm not going to get up at night. I'm not going to get up in the morning. Whatever. I'm not going to fast. I'm not going to do any of this stuff. But ironically and amazingly, the minute you start thinking about doing an avera, the Yetzer takes the exact opposite approach. Oh yeah, that's geschmack. That's a great idea. Yeah, do that. That's going to give you a lot of pleasure. V'yashkiach b'mchos ansha, and he will make you forget the punishment that's waiting for you for doing that avera. V'zaris as cholasvis son, he's going to urge you and give you, tremendous encouragement to do the avera. Lios lo acharat mamash, run after it. So he's got you coming. If you're not careful, he'll get you coming and going, twisted every which way. Ukashetargish hayetzer bolach b'tanis ela. And if you sense that the Yetzer is coming at you with these types of arguments, obetanis domos, or similar types of arguments, anelo, you got to answer him, and this is what you have to answer him. The truth of the matter is, we really should have each of these answers, in bold letters and printed up on the wall to remind us whenever these types of arguments come our way, what we have to respond. But we cannot let these arguments win out. The answer is as follows. No pain that I ever endured by serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu, none of that pain left any long-term impact. Whatever difficulties I've had, they've all passed. Elohu Ovamar, they pass very quickly. And the reward that I get for the good things that I've done, they're eternal. They'll never be able to be diminished, and I have them forever, not only in this world but in the next world. It will never ever leave me. And that what you want to tell me, as equally, the arguments you want to use that fasting and lack of sleep are bad things for me, it's not true. If you fast during the day and you eat at night, the power that you and the strength that you lost during the fast, it's like you never fasted, you're able to go back and pretty much life goes back as usual. And as we know, we fast, a few times a year, and we go back to life in the Baruch Shem. We might feel weak when we go through it, but we bounce back. And yet, when you think about the reward for fasting, that will remain for that person forever. Or so if you want to get up, a little bit in the night and during a portion of the night to pray, when you go back to sleep, your body goes back to being, calm and comfortable. The sleep doesn't. The fact that I was awake earlier doesn't affect the sleep that I take later, and I'm able to again get my rejuvenation that I need. And the reward that I get for getting up in the middle of the night and for praying in the middle of the night, nishar lo li'olam, again, will stay forever. So what are you telling me? What are you basically putting the pulling the wool over my eyes and trying to blind me and not seeing the truth? And that which you should answer when the Yetzer tries to make you afraid of giving tzedakah, and because if you give tzedakah, you're going to become poor. Okay, you'll have nothing to live from if you start giving away all your money. I refer you to go back to Shar B'tachon. He tells you on the bottom exactly where in Perek Dalid. Okay, and he tells you exactly where it is. Go back to that portion, and there, as we learned at Baruch Hashem, we remember that bottom line is who runs the world, who is going to take care of me, and how am I going to lose by doing the right thing? So what kind of shtus is it for me to think that because I'm giving tzedakah, I'm going to end up losing? It just completely defies comprehension. V'kashi shadel oscha yetzel avra, and when the Yetzer tries to get you to do an avera, alechos losim leiv v'lizbonin, it's upon you to put your heart and to think, kamo mar chofos hanaosecha. How quickly and fleeting is that pleasure? What are you trying to get me to do an avera for? What's it going to give me? It's a fleeting moment of pleasure, and then it's gone. Gama mutaros v'gama suros. Pleasure, whether it's permissible pleasure, whether it's prohibited pleasure, doesn't last. So what am I getting so excited about? Why am I going to do this? And when that happens to be prohibited, what's going to be left for you is rak cherpa of the onish bo mazov alam ba. You're going to have embarrassment and punishment in this world and in the next world. So what are you doing? Shadof is a yetzer manazeh. When you're able to literally push off and deflect and really sort of outmuscle the Yetzer and with these types of arguments, who you know give l'fanecha, he will be smitten in front of you. You again have the ultimate ability to win. You have that choice to be able to look at Yetzer right between the eyes and say, I'm not going to fall prey to this. I'm not going to accept your arguments, and I'm going to win. But his dares b'charitzas l'maisim tovim, and you should work very hard with tremendous alacrity and energy and focus to do good deeds. And that will draw you away from all avera. So basically, again, this is it's a wonderful, just general concept. I mean, it's very fundamental, but at the same time, we know the Yetzer gets in, and the message has to be that all these arguments they're just basically, literally, they're mirages. They create an illusion of grandeur that doesn't exist. The people who stay focused on Ruchnius, they're the winners. The winners in this world and in the next world. And those who lose sight of it, unfortunately, they end up being embarrassed in both worlds as well. Okay, I think it's a good place to stop, and we'll pick up next week.
Okay.